Hi everyone, today we're going through the AQA GCSE Calculator Paper 2 from June 2023. I recommend you have a go at it on your own first, and then you can watch this and see how you get on. Let's get straight into it. Question 1. Here is a number line. What number is at x? I can see I've got 20 here and 40 here, and there's 4 gaps with 20 between them. So that means each gap will be worth 5. That'll be 25, that'll be 30, and that'll be 35. Part B, here is a different number line. What number is at y? I've got 0 here and I've got 6 here. There's 3 gaps, so each gap is going to be worth 2. That's 2, 4, and 6. I'm going backwards. 0 take away 2 gives me negative 2. Question 2, match each expression on the left with the ones on the right. 3 lots of A plus 4 lots of A is 7A. 7 lots of A. That one's already done. 3A multiplied by 3A. I need to multiply these two numbers by each other first. 3 times 3 gives me 9. And A multiplied by A, it's the same as 5 multiplied by 5. We could write it as 5 squared. A multiplied by A is A squared. So 9A squared. This one, we've got 6 lots of 3A. 6 times by 3 is 18. We've got 18 lots of A. Last one, 12A divided by 4. 12 lots of A divided by 4. 12 divided by 4 is 3, so 3A. Question 3. Here are some shapes. Each shape has an area of 6 square centimeters. Which has a bigger perimeter, A or B? Let's work out the perimeters of each of these. So I'm going to count starting from one corner and I'll go along. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That was 14 centimeters. This one, I'm going to start from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 centimeters. A has larger perimeter as 14 centimeters is greater than 12 centimeters. Part B, which shape is congruent to shape A? Congruent just means exactly the same. In shape A, I can see I've got this L shape and then I've got another L shape. So this one does not have it, this one does not have it, and this one does have those two L shapes, so it's going to be D. Question C, which two shapes fit together to make a rectangle? So I'm going to look for ones which I could join together and it would make a rectangle. So I think C and E would work quite nicely, because if I drew this underneath, it would look something like this. I've got this upside down F shape, and it would fit in very nicely just there. That shape is the same as that shape, so it would be C and E. On this grid, draw a reflection of shape C, show your mirror line. So I've got this shape, I need to draw a mirror line and keep it quite close to it. I wouldn't choose anything too difficult like going away from it or a diagonal. And I just need to count. There's 1 across from the mirror line there, so it's going to be 1 across there. And I've got a distance of 2, so I go 1, 2. It's got a height of 1, 2, 3, 4, so I count down to there. This point will be over here, go over there. This point will be there and there. So I'll join these up. And do this with a ruler, and you can see these two match up with each other. Question 4. Points P and Q are shown on the grid. Write down the coordinates of P. Along the corridor to 4, up the stairs to 3. That would be at 4, 3. Part B, angle PQR is a right angle. Work out the possible coordinates for R. So I've got P to Q already. I need the coordinate for R. I'm just going to put it here. If I connect R to Q and to P, that's a right angle. So R would be at 2, negative 3. As long as your Y coordinate is at negative 3, it would be fine. So 2, negative 3. Then 5A. A shop sells bottles of orange juice. Each bottle costs 75p. Work out the greatest number of bottles that can be bought with £5. I'm going to change this into pence, which would be 500 pence, and divide it by 75. So I'm doing 500 divided by 75, which gives me 6.6 recurring. So the greatest number of bottles I can have are 6. Part B. 2 shops sells bottles of apple juice. At which shop is it cheaper to buy 24 bottles? Let's do shop X first. So shop X, right now we have 4 bottles, and we're getting a discount of 10%. So either you can do 10% and take it away from the £2.50, or because we know it's a decrease, we're doing 1 take away 0.1, which is 0.9, and £2.50 times by 0.9. It's just a quick way of doing a decrease. 2.5 multiplied by 0.9 gives me 2.25. So 4 bottles is equal to £2.25. I need to work out how much 24 bottles are. So on the left, I need to multiply this by 6 to get 24. On the right, I'll need to do the same. £2.25 times by 6. That gives me 27 over 2, or £13.50. So the cost from shop X is £13.50. Shop Z, a little bit easier. We've got a pack of 12 bottles for £7. We need to find 24 bottles, so I've multiplied by 2 on the left. I need to multiply by 2 on the right. 7 times by 2 is 14, and now I can compare them. Shop X is cheaper than Shop Z because £13.50 is smaller than 14. So the answer is Shop X. Question 6. A game has 4 cards labelled A, B, C and D. Ellie picks 2 of the cards at random. Complete the list of the 6 possible pairs of cards she could pick. Already got A, B, so we could have AC and A, D. Then we could have BA, but we've already got BA. You can't have BB because you can't have the same card repeating. Next one would be BC and BD. Then you could have CA. CA is already taken. CB is already taken. CD is not taken, so that would be the last one. DD would not work because it's the same card. 7A, complete the boxes using 2 different even numbers and 2 different odd numbers. So I'm trying to make 46. Let's try and get very close to 46 using the 2 even numbers. And we're just going to choose 10 and 30. Both of these are even, so that's my evens done. Now I need to make 6 because 10 and 30 is 40. I need 6 left. How could I make 6 using 2 different odd numbers? I can't have 3 and 3 because they need to be different, so I'm going to choose 1 and 5. Just check them, add them all up together. 10 and 30 add 1 and 5 does give you 46. Part B, complete the boxes using a factor of 12 and a factor of 40. Let's write out the factors of these. 1 and 12, 2 and 6, 3 and 4. Next one would be 4, but it's already there, so that's a repeat, you don't have to continue. 40, you've got 1 and 40, 2 and 20, 3 doesn't go in, 4 and 10, 5 and 8, and that would be the last one. 6 doesn't go in, 7 doesn't go in, and 8 you've already got. We just need to find 2 numbers that multiply to make 30. So I can see I've got 3 here and a 10 here. That would work. 3 and 10. Question C. Complete the boxes using a square number and a prime number. Let's write our square numbers first. So square numbers are just numbers you multiply by themselves to get the answer. 1 times 1 is 1, 2 times 2 is 4, 3 times 3 is 9, then 16, 25, 36 and 49. A prime number is just a number with 2 unique factors. So 1 only has 1 factor. 2 is the first prime number because it has 1 and 2 as factors. I can see 36 divided by 2 would give me 18. So that would be the final answer. Question 8. 93 people were asked if they play online games one day. That's in the diagram. The frequency tree shows some information about the answers. The way these work is that these 2 numbers will add up to make 93 and these 2 numbers will add up to make 48. 75% of the people who answered yes played one game. Complete the frequency tree. Let's find out what 75% of 48 is. To convert 75% into a decimal, I just need to divide it by 100. So the decimal point is moving 1, 2 to become 0.75. I need to multiply that by 48, and that will tell me who played one game. 0.75 times by 48 gives me 36. So more than one game played is yes. So the no is going to be the 36 people. 48 take away 36 is 12. Now I need to find this number, 93 take away 48, which gives me 45. Part B. One of the 93 people is chosen at random. Probability that they use social media is more than 0.68. What's the smallest number of people who use social media? The formula that we're using here is expected outcome equals probability multiplied by the number of trials. This is just saying what is the probability and how many times do I do it. There's 93 people that are chosen, so the number of trials is 93, and it's going to be more than 0.68, but we'll just use 0.68 for now. So the expected outcome is this, 0.68 multiplied by 93, which gives me 63.24. Because it tells me it's going to be more than 0.68, I need to round this one up, so the answer would be 64. Question 9. The cost of a TV streaming service is £6 per month for the first 4 months, then £11 per month for the rest of the year. So normally when you get a streaming service, they try to hook you in by giving you a cheap price at the start, and then they'll raise the price a little bit later. Work out the total cost for the year. Let's work out this bit first. £6 per month for the first 4 months. 6 times by 4 is equal to 24. £11 per month for the rest of the year. So how many more months are there? There's 12 months in a year. 12 take away 4 is 8. Times by, it costs £11 per month, so 8 times 11 is 88. Now I just need to add these two together. 24 add 88, which gives me 112. Question 9b. A TV series has 10 episodes. 9 episodes are each 50 minutes long. 1 episode is 1 hour 42 minutes long. Work out the total length of the series. Give your answer in hours and minutes. Because we've got a calculator, we can use it here. We're doing 50 minutes multiplied by this 9 first. 50 times by 9. But I'm going to use this function on the calculator. This is just the hours and the minutes function. So I've got 0 hours and I've got 50 minutes. So I write it like that. That tells me 0 hours and 50 minutes. I need to multiply that by 9. That gives me that bit. So that's 7 hours and 30 minutes. Then I need to add this 1 hour and 42. I'm adding 1 hour and 42 minutes. That gives me an answer of 9 hours and 12 minutes. So I would write it as 7 hour and 30 plus 1 hour and 42, which gives me 9 hours and 12. Question 10a. There are 1020 books in a box. 2/5 of the books are blue. How many are blue? So we are trying to find 2/5 of 1020. One way you could do this is do 1020 divided by 5 times by 2, or you could just think of this as a multiply. So we're doing 2/5 multiplied by 1020, which gives me 408. Part B. There are green pens and red pens in the box. Green to red is in the ratio 4 to 3. What fraction of the pens are green? So we're concentrating on these. How many parts are there in total altogether? There's 7 parts in total, and there's 4 parts that are green, so it's going to be 4 out of 7. Question C. There are some calculators in a box. 220 are scientific, 30 are not. What percentage of the calculators are scientific? So 220 are scientific, 30 are not. So the total is going to be these two added together. 220 add 30 is 250. And if I type this into my calculator, it'll simplify it for me. So 220 divided by 250, which gives me 0.88. But we want it as a percentage, so we need to multiply it by 100. 0.88 multiplied by 100, decimal point will move 1, 2 to 88. Question 11. Here is a Venn diagram. There's 60 people inside the Venn diagram. H is people who own a gaming set, which is here. The people own a smartwatch. Complete the Venn diagram. So I know all of this circle is going to be equal to 15. Right now, I already have 7 people that own a smartwatch. So 15, take away 7, gives me 8. So the amount of people who only have a smartwatch is going to be 8. I need to find this missing number. I know there's 60 people altogether. 24 add 7 add 8. 24 add 7 add 8. That gives me 31, 39. I need to take that away from 60. 60, take away 39, which gives me 21. Part B. One of the 60 people is chosen at random. What is the probability that they own both a gaming headset and a smartwatch? So the people that own both is 7, and the total amount of people is 60. So it's 7 over 60. Question C. Marek is going to buy a gaming headset that costs £35. He already has £19. He plans to save the rest in 2 equal amounts over the next 2 weeks. He uses this method to work out in pounds how much to save each week. So he's got his £35, that's the cost of the headset. Then he takes away 19 divided by 2. But the issue here is that this number is being divided first, whereas the answer of 35 take away 19 needs to be answered first and then divide that number by 2. Because if he uses this calculation, he's not going to save enough. He needs to write 35 take away 19 first, that's the amount he has, and then divide it by 2. Right now, using BidMass, it would have given him the right answer. Question 12. Kai says 3 to 2 is an equivalent ratio to 9 to 6. So 3 to 2 is equivalent to 9 to 6. Joe says 1.5 to 1 is equivalent to 9 to 6. Who is correct? Let's see who's correct. We've got Kai and we've got Joe. Here I've multiplied by 3 on the left, and here I've also multiplied by 3 on the right. So that means Kai is correct. Let's look at Joe next. I'm going to concentrate on the right hand side first because it's a little bit easier. I can see I've multiplied by 6 there. What is 1.5 times by 6? 1.5 times by 6. That gives me 9 also. Both of them are correct. Give reasons for your answer. Both ratios are equivalent because we've multiplied by the same amount on both sides for both of them. Question 13. 28 is increased by 25%, 40 is decreased by 15%. Which answer is bigger? So let's convert this bit into a decimal multiplier. Because it's an increase, we start off with 1 plus, and this is 25%. What is 25% as a decimal? Just divide this by 100, so 0.25. So all I need to do to work that out is I take the original number, 28, and I multiply it by the decimal multiplier times 1.25. Let's do this one next. 40 is decreased by 15%. Because it's a decrease, I start with 1 minus. 15% as a decimal is 0.15. 1 take away 0.15. Think of this as £1, take away 15 pence. So that'd be 0.85. So to work this one out, I need to do 40 multiplied by 0.85. First one, 28 times 1.25 gives me 35. And the second one, I've got 40 times by 0.85, 34. So this one is larger. First is larger. Question 14. Factorize 12a plus 15b. Whenever you're factorizing, you're looking for the highest common factor of both of these terms. So of the numbers, what's the highest common factor of 12 and 15? 1 goes into both, 2 doesn't go into both, 3 does go into both. Is there anything larger than 3 that goes into both? 4 would it work, 5 would it work, 6 would it work, 7 would it work? So after you've gone halfway, you've probably found what you need. So it's going to be 3 on the outside. And is there anything common between the letters? No. So we move on. We open the bracket. What multiplies by 3 to give me 12? That'll be 4. Or 12 divided by 3 is 4. And I need an A there. And 3 multiplied by 5 gives me 15. And I need a B here. The way I would check this, I would expand this out. 3 times 4A and 3 times 5B. And it would give me that answer. So I know I'm correct. Question 15. Write down all the integers that satisfy the inequality -3 is less than or equal to x and it's less than 2. Integers just mean whole numbers or your counting numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 88, 89, 90. All of these are whole numbers. So we're looking for greater than or equal to -3. So the first number would be -3, then -2, -1, 0, 1, and it wants less than 2. So we can't have 2. 1 would be the largest number. Question 16. A linear sequence starts 7, 10, 13, 16. Find the nth term of this sequence. So I've got 7, 10, 13, 16. First thing I need to do is find out what is it going up by every single time. It's going up by 3's. So I write 3n, and 3n, the sequence for that, 3 times 1 is 3, 3 times 2 is 6, or it's my 3 times table, 3, 6, 9, and 12. What have I adjusted my 3 times table, or 3n, to get to here? I've added 4 there, I've added 4 there, and I'm always adding 4. So the sequence is going to be 3n and 4. Question 17. Jess saves 2p, 5p, and 10p coins. She has 45 10p coins. So how much is this worth? 45 multiplied by 10p is 450p, or £4.50. 8 times as many 2p coins as 10p coins. So she has 45 10p coins. What is 45 multiplied by 8? That's 360. So 360 2p coins, and what would those be worth? 360 times by 0.02 gives me £7.20. The total value is £17.70. Work out total value of 2p coins to the total value of 5p coins. We already know the value of the 2p coins is £7.20. I'll write it in pence for now, 720. What is the total value for the 5p coins? I know I've got 2p's, 5p's, and 10p's. I've got the 10p's already. I've got the 2p's there. And I need to take this away from the total amount, so £17.70. Let's work this out. So £17.70, take away £4.50, take away £7.20, which gives me an answer of £6 or 600 pence. Can cancel both of these down by dividing them both by 10. So that'll remove the 0. I've got 72 to 60. What number goes into both of these? They're in my 12 times table. So divide by 12. That'd be 6 on this side to 5. The final answer would be 6 to 5. Question 18. In a game, an ordinary dice is rolled and the first spinner shown is spun. The score is the dice number substituted into the spinner expression. All this is saying is that they get a dice, they roll it, and whatever number they get, they spin this and they substitute that number into here. And they've created a little table for us to fill out. So 1, whenever I roll a 1 and I substitute it into 2x, what do I get? 2 multiplied by 1 is 2. 2 multiplied by 2 is 4. 2 multiplied by 3 is 6. You can see the expression 2x just gives me 2, 4, 6. It's my 2 times table, so this would be 10 and this would be 12. For 3x, this would just be my 3 times table. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and 18. For x squared, I need to do 1 multiplied by 1, which is 1. 2 multiplied by 2, which is 4. 3 times by 3, 9. These are my square numbers, 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, and 36. Part B, a player wins the game if their score is 10 or more. Work out the probability that they win the game. So to work out probability, we need the amount of successful trials over the total amount of trials. How many times would they be successful? If you win when you score 10 or more, let's highlight all of those. That's 10, that's 10 or more, that's 10 or more, that's 10 or more, that's 10 or more. So altogether, we have 8 successes. And how many trials are there altogether? How many possibilities are there altogether? There's 6 in this row, 12 altogether, 18 altogether. So it's 8 out of 18. 8 out of 18. And you can leave it like this, but I'll simplify it to become 4 over 9. I've just divided by 2 on the top and bottom. The game is played 711 times. Estimate the number of games that are won. The formula we're using here is expected outcome is equal to probability multiplied by the number of trials. So here the probability of winning is 4/9 and the number of trials is 711. Multiply these two together and we get our answer. So 4 over 9 multiplied by 711 gives me 316. Question 19. Part of a regular polygon is shown. Poly means many and gon means angles, many angles, or it's just another word for shape. Assume that the polygon is an octagon. So octagon has 8 sides. The way you can remember it is that octopus has 8 legs. Work out the size of angle x. Here, is this an interior angle or an exterior angle? Because it's on the outside, it's an exterior angle. So that's a formula that we're going to need. The formula is each exterior angle is 360 divided by n, and n is the number of sides. The number of sides here is 8, so we're doing 360 divided by 8, which is 45. Each angle is 45 degrees. Part B. In fact, the polygon has more sides than the octagon. What does this mean about the size of angle x? In part A, we had 8 sides. Let's just imagine we have 10 sides, a decagon. So if I do 360 divided by 10, will I get an answer bigger or smaller? 360 divided by 10 is 36. This answer is smaller than 45, so it's going to be less than the answer to part A. So if you're not sure about how to do these kind of questions, just think, how could I substitute something in, or how could I think of this situation in a different way so I can actually see an answer for it? Question 20. Write down the translation vector that maps shape A onto shape B. I normally look at the same point and see where it's moved. So I've gone 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right. And I've gone 1, 2, 3 down. We write translation vectors in the form x, y. This is my movement in the x direction or left to right. And this is my movement in the y direction up and down. So 4 right will be positive 4. And 3 down, because it's going down, it's going to be a negative 3. So 4, negative 3. Question 21. A ball is a hemisphere with radius 12 centimeters. It's asking us, does the water fill more than 70% of the ball? Let's work out the volume of this ball. It's given us the volume of a sphere, but this is a hemisphere. It's half of a sphere, so we need to divide that by 2. To find the volume of this hemisphere, we'll substitute 12, because this is a radius, into this formula where r is. So 4/3 multiplied by pi multiplied by 12 cubed. And then we need to divide that by 2. So this is 4 over 3 multiplied by pi multiplied by 12 cubed, and this is being divided by 2, which gives us 1152 pi. That's in centimeters cubed. Water is poured into the bowl at a rate of 325 centimeters cubed per second for 8 seconds. So how much water is going into that bowl? That is 325 multiplied by 8, which is 2,600. 325 multiplied by 8 is 2,600. We're trying to find whether it fills more than 70% of the bowl. So let's work out what proportion of the bowl is filled. If we know this is the amount of water that's going in and this is the total volume of the bowl, we can place this over this one. So 2,600 divided by 1,152 pi. That will give us a decimal, and we'll just multiply that by 100. It gives us 0.7184. 0.7184. That is the same, if I multiply that by 100, that is the same as 71.84%. This is more than 70%. So 71.84% is greater than 70%. So therefore, it has filled more than 70% of the bowl. Question 22. Show that these two rectangles are similar. Similar just means one is an enlargement of the other. It's been multiplied by something on all sides to give the other one. So let's see, what have we multiplied by 5 to get to this 8? If I do 8 divided by 5, 5 has been multiplied by 1.6 there to get to 8. And if I do 19.2 divided by 12, that also gives me 1.6. So multiplying from there to there is also 1.6. Because it's the same scale factor, that means these two rectangles are similar. Same scale factor. Therefore, one is an enlargement of the other and similar. Question 23. A factory packs X boxes of tea bags per hour. Each box contains 80 tea bags. So if there's 80 tea bags per box and there's X boxes, per hour it's 80 X tea bags. Show that the factory packs 4X over 3 tea bags per minute. This is for every hour. We want per minute. So all we need to do is divide this by 60. So 80 divided by 60 does give us 4 over 3. So divided by 60 gives us 4 over 3x. That's it for today's questions. I recommend you go through the questions and list down all of the topics that you struggle with. If you found it useful, feel free to check out my channel and see what other videos and past papers that I have, including the paper 3 from this year's spec. I'll see you soon.